making headlines tonight. The Central Committee of Cambodian People's Party held a meeting and achieved 7 major results, including confirmation of support for the party president, Prime Minister Hun Sen, as the prime ministerial candidate for the 7th term, as well as continue to show support for Hun Manet as the future prime minister. Thousands of Palestinians staged demonstrations in the West Bank and Gaza Strip against US President Joe Biden's first visit to the Israel and Palestinian territories. And finally, the ABC brand has introduced an exclusive new brew, ABC Reserve, a fine whiskey-infused beer. ABC held its unveiling ceremony for its new reserve product on Friday the 15th of July at one of Phnom Penh's most high-end bars, Bar Manica, located on Diamond Island. This is the Daily Roundup on EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Anthony Ellis. The Central Committee of the Cambodian People's Party held a meeting for 2 days over the weekend and achieved 7 major results, including confirmation of support the party President Prime Minister Hun Sen as the prime ministerial candidate for the 7th term, as well as continued show for support of Hun Manet as the future prime minister. EAC News reporter Shana Guchin has more.
In a statement issued on Sunday, 17th July, the CPP announced the results of its 2-day meeting where the party commemorated its recent victory in the Commune Sangkat Council elections and also showed commitment to promoting the implementation of certain priorities with special attention given to further expansion as well as the shortcomings that need to be addressed in order to strengthen the people's trust in the party's leadership. The party also announced its support for party president Prime Minister Hun Sen as the prime ministerial candidate for an upcoming 7th term in 2023. The CPP stated, "The meeting solemnly endorsed the support of Prime Minister Hun Sen as the prime ministerial candidate for the 7th legislature of the National Assembly and the support of His Excellency Hun Manet as the future prime ministerial candidate." After winning the 5th mandate Commune Sangkat Council election, the CPP decided to hold a meeting of the party's Central Committee on 9th-10th July, but the meeting was postponed to 16th to 17th July. The 2-day party meeting was attended by 3,474 party members nationwide at the CPP headquarters in Phnom Penh. It should be noted that Prime Minister Hun Sen has been the Prime Minister of Cambodia since 1985 and has been the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia since the first term in 1993 to the present day. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
The Central Committee of the Cambodian People's Party has fully supported the 10th Amendment of the Cambodian Constitution, saying this amendment is useful to ensure the establishment of the highest national institution and ensure the peace of the people. In a statement issued Sunday the 17th of July, the CPP state that the 10th Amendment to the Constitution is aimed at serving national interests, ensuring the supreme institution of the nation, especially the executive branch, which has the primary mission of leading to the work of the general state to operate smoothly and sustainably in circumstances, and ensuring the protection of the maintenance of peace, social security, public order and political stability of the nation in all circumstances, as a foundation for its nation's development in all fields and the peace of the Cambodian people. On Friday, the 8th of July, the Council of Ministers fully approved the new draft constitution and submitted it to the National Assembly for approval. According to Justice Minister Kat Rip, the current amendment to the Constitution was made to ensure the smoothing and functioning of state institutions, maintain stability and peace, fill existing gaps in the Constitution, and uphold the fundamental principles of the liberal multi-party democracy and the principles of the Constitution monarchy. You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. 59 students from Cambodia headed to New York City in the US for the Complutense Mathematics Olympiad, where they will compete against 26 other countries. EAC News reporter Darshana Guchin has the details.
On Monday, 18th July, 59 students from 5th to 12th grade headed to New York in the United States to compete in the Copernicus Mathematics Olympiad. The students had already competed in the first round that was held online. They will now compete in the second round in New York City against 26 countries and 1,500 students from around the world. The Copernicus Olympiad has 5 main disciplines: Mathematics, Natural Science, Physics and Astronomy, Cybersecurity, and Film Festival. The top 10% will receive a gold medal and a certificate. The competition is in English only and no support will be given in other languages. The Physics, Natural Science, and Astronomy competitions were held in January in Houston, Texas. Cambodia so far has many medals in this class. The Cybersecurity competition and Film Festival will be held in October in Los Angeles. The vision for the Copernicus Olympiad is to become a leading platform in each category and deliver world-class competitors in the younger generations to bring them together. Darshana Gauchan, EAC News.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Thousands of Palestinians on Thursday staged demonstrations in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip against US President Joe Biden's first visit to Israel and the Palestinian territories, slamming his biased stance on the Israel-Palestine issue.
In the coastal enclave of the Gaza Strip, governed by the Islamic Resistance Movement, hundreds of Palestinians waved Palestinian flags and chanted slogans at the square of the Unknown Soldier in western Gaza City to condemn Biden's visit, which started on Wednesday. President Biden, your administration has always been biased to the Zionist entity and has always been denying our people's legitimate rights, so we can denounce the flagrant American collaboration with the Zionist entity, Khalil al-Hayya, Hamas deputy chief in the Gaza Strip, told the rally, referring to the U.S. support to Israel. Commenting on the Jerusalem Declaration signed by Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid to establish a strategic partnership between the two allies, al-Hayya announced it as a blatant confirmation of the unjust U.S. policy against the Palestinian people and a new promise to the Israeli occupation that will not change the reality of the Holy City. He noted that Biden carried nothing in his pocket during the visit except the unlimited support for Israel and the focus on Israeli security and prosperity, and in return, he carries a package of false promises to the Palestinians. In another rally held in the West Bank city of Ramallah, Protesters voiced similar opposition against the U.S. president, saying he did not take any concrete action or make any practical proposals to support the two-state solution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and his visit will not bring peace to the region. Hundreds of Palestinians also took to the streets in the northern West Bank city of Nablus in protest against the visit. Due to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and the conflict in Ukraine, for a large part of the Western population, living standards are stagnating, Blair noted in his annual lecture at the Ditchley Foundation on Saturday. Western politics is in turmoil, more partisan, ugly, and unproductive, and fueled by social media, which affects both domestic and international affairs, Blair said, arguing that Russia's military operation in Ukraine should become a pivot point, reviving our Western sense of mission. However, according to the 69-year-old who led the UK government from 1997 to 2007, the biggest geopolitical change of this century will come from China, not Russia. We are coming to the end of Western political and economic dominance. The world is going to be at least bipolar and possibly multipolar, he predicted. China, which is already the world's second superpower, will compete with the West, not just for power but against our system, our way of governing and living, the Labour politician warned. Beijing will not be alone. It will have allies. Russia now for sure, possibly Iran. It is the first time in modern history that the East can be on equal terms with the West, he added. The former premier said the events in Ukraine have made it clear the West cannot rely on the Chinese leadership to behave in this way we would consider rational. Don't misunderstand me, he said. I am not saying in the near term that China would attempt to take the self-governed island of Taiwan by force, but we can't base our policy on the certainty that it wouldn't. In order to stay relevant in the new environment, the West needs to develop a common strategy pursued with coordination, commitment, and competence, with higher defense spending to maintain military superiority while expanding so-called soft power by building ties with developing countries, Blair concluded.
Let's have a look at today's finance. The CSX index is currently 476.78 points, down 5.7 points or 1.18%. The National Bank of Cambodia's daily exchange rate is 4,085 riel to the USD. Now let's have a look what's happening in finance around the world. Fears of potential economic slowdown are clouding the outlook for the value stocks, which have outperformed broader indexes this year in the face of surging inflation and rising interest rates. Value stocks, commonly defined, are those trading at discount on metrics such as book value or price to earnings, have typically outperformed their growth counterparts over the past decade when the SP 500 gains were driven by tech-focused giants such as Amazon and Apple. That dynamic shift this year as the Federal Reserve kicked off its first interest rate hike cycle since 2018, disproportionately hurting growth stocks, which are more sensitive to the higher interest rates. The Russell 1000 Value Index is down 13% year to date, while the Russell 1000 Growth Index has fallen about 26%. This month, however, fears of the Fed monetary policy tightening could bring on US recession have shifted the momentum away from value stocks, which tend to be more sensitive of the economy. The Russell Value Index is up 0.7% in July compared to 3.4% gain for its growth stock counterpart. So latest news and finance, tune in tomorrow for more. Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, check our website eacnews.asia or search EAC News on Telegram, Smart TV or your favourite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We'll see you then.